Hey there, everyone. How are you? This is Nancy Ducharme with Rise Higher Astrology, and hoping that you survived the first full moon after the vernal equinox today. It's actually happening right as we speak. And just so that you know, I am a Vedic sidereal astrologer. I am a sidereal astrologer because the sidereal chart is where the exact true location of the planets are according to astronomy. And we want to make sure that the dignities are correct. So today we had our first full moon after the first day of spring, and that happened in the sign of Sagittarius. And historically, in Vedic astrology, the full moon in Sagittarius is auspicious because it is relative to the ninth sign, the ninth house, Sagittarius, and it's ruled by Jupiter. So today is a really good day for you to reach out to your guru, right? Your guru, your mentor, your teacher, your professor, anyone who has made a difference in your life and who has inspired you, who's lifted you out of the darkness of ignorance, I guess. So that is a good thing. However, there is a flip side to this because this year in particular, see, the moon is in a different nakshatra or lunar mansion, and that is in Purva. That's Purva Ashada. And Purva Ashada is linked to declarations of war. Okay, so that gives you an idea, a little bit of flavor of what this full moon brings. Over the past few months, world events have not been very, very good. That's an understatement. So this full moon in Purvarashada is linked to declarations of war, and we do have this really difficult formation that's happening in the sign of sidereal Leo around the 20th to the 28th of July. We've got Mars conjunct K2, which is the south node happening in the sign of Leo. And this is a fiery, dangerous, angry, and very explosive energy that's happening right now. On top of this, we've got Kalasarpa Yoga happening. That is when, and I'll show you right here. That is when all of the planets, and we don't count the three outer planets, but all of the planets are on one half of the circle behind both the north and south nodes, Rahu and Ketu. Except the moon, we don't really count the moon either because the moon is such a fast-moving planet, and in 2 weeks it'll be back in that yoga. So we have until the end of July to struggle through this roller coaster ride, this Kalasarpa yoga. And Kalasarpa is when we have really high highs and really low lows. So we just got to hold on for another few weeks. And after July, we will have Mars breaking out of this yoga. So we will no longer be in it. Um, and better times are coming, okay? But right now, we're just, you know, we're just kind of holding on to our to our britches and hoping for the best. But this might be a really good time for you to maybe lay low. You don't have to hide in your house. Just be aware of things that are happening around you, like I said before in my other videos. But this too shall pass. And the other thing I wanted you to be aware of is that Saturn is going retrograde beginning on July 13th, and he's going to be retrograde all the way up until the 28th of November. And this is going to give us 4 months of a do-over. Okay. Now, when Saturn goes retrograde, it is very powerful because retrograde planets are close to Earth during that time. And of course, retrograde planets, they slow down and then they speed up. But when they slow down, they're stationing and it makes them about 100 times more powerful than they normally are. Now, Saturn is considered to be a class A malefic, but I think that um, we have a tendency to kind of exaggerate when it comes to Saturn. See, Saturn is there because it really wants us to be disciplined and have structure and do the things that we're supposed to do. And we don't like discipline. We don't like to um, be all work and no play. But this time, for the next 4 months, you have an opportunity to go back to the house um, prior to Pisces. So you're going to get a chance to have a do-over in your Aquarius house because Saturn right now is in the first few degrees of Pisces, and he'll be moving backwards towards Aquarius. So, depending on where Aquarius is in your chart, okay, that's going to be the area that you really want to take advantage of over the next few months. So, for Aries rising, if you're sidereal Aries rising, you're going to have the opportunity to have a do-over in your 11th house. And this is going to be your friends groups, social groups. It could also have something to do with your work, since the 11th house is also considered in Vedic astrology to be the house of great gains. And it's all the fruits that come from your 10th house activity. And 10th house, of course, is your work, it's your career, it's your public image. So you're going to get a chance to have that do over in your 11th house for about 4 months. You might want to pay attention. To that. Excuse me. For Taurus rising, sidereal Taurus, you're going to have an opportunity for a redo in your 10th house of work and career and public image. So just think about all the things that you missed out on, some opportunities, maybe there were some deadlines that you didn't hit. You're going to get a chance to review those, and Saturn is going to work with you to get some of those things accomplished, okay, with your career. All right. Now, for Gemini, Gemini, you're going to have your do-over in the ninth house. So, what does this mean? It could mean a lot of different things. It could be higher education. Okay. This could also be something to do with your father. Okay. It could be maybe if you have an elderly dad, maybe that there was something that was overlooked, and you want to get back to that and figure some things out for a father figure, a stepdad. Um, just or maybe this could also be a mentor, okay? But you're going to have an opportunity for your do-over, okay? And Cancer rising, you are going to have the opportunity for do-overs in your eighth house. Now, eighth house is the house of everything behind closed doors. So this could be your investments, it could be your mortgage, it could be your insurance. I would pay close attention to all of those important items. This could also be a legal matter, okay, a lawsuit, something of that nature. So it could also include your partner's income, okay, because seventh house is the house of partners and significant others, and the eighth house is the second house from the seventh, so that's their income. Okay, so pay close attention to that. For Leo rising, this is going to be a 4 month opportunity for you to have a do-over in your marriage house, marriage contracts, and relationships. Um, Even though we think of seventh house as our significant other, don't forget that the seventh house in Vedic astrology also represents your business partners, and it also represents business since it is the house of contracts as well. Okay. For Virgo, you are going to have the opportunity for some do-overs in your sixth house, and this is your health. This is also your coworkers, okay? So maybe there are some plans that fell short over the past few months. You're going to have a second chance, okay, at maybe getting some projects done. You're also going to get a second chance with doing something that has to deal with your health issues, okay? For Libra rising, you're going to have an opportunity um, to have a do-over with your children. Okay. I know for a lot of you Libra rising out there, the whole entire year of 2024, I know that a lot of you got a lot of gray hairs from some situations that you were dealing with your kids. So the good news is that this year is looking a lot better for you. Uh, but you're going to have some opportunities to maybe tie up some loose ends there. Okay. For Virgo rising, if you're sidereal, I'm sorry, sidereal Scorpio rising, you're going to have an opportunity for a do-over in your fourth house. Okay. And this is your home, your roots, where you come from. This is also your mom. Okay, so check in with your mother. Maybe there's a situation there that you need to revisit with your mom. Okay. For Sagittarius rising, if you're sidereal Sagittarius, you're going to have an opportunity for do-overs with your siblings. Specifically, your younger sibling. It could be an older one though, but I'm looking at your younger sibling. And if you don't have one, then definitely look at the other siblings. But you also will have some issues with courage, with stamina, with your constitution. So don't forget. Also, this is the house of short distance travel. Okay. So maybe there is something that you need to do. Maybe you need to do some traveling to help someone out. Maybe you need to do some traveling to help out a sibling. Who knows? Okay. Um, with Capricorn rising, if your sidereal rising sign is Capricorn, then this is going to be your second house. Now, this is your income house, one of your many income houses. You got several, but this is your income house. This is also your family life, okay? It's also your voice and your opinion and your values, okay? So keep that in mind as well, okay? Now, for Aquarius rising, if you are sidereal Aquarius rising, this is you. This is your body, like literally your body, your appearance, your hair, the way that you wear your clothes. It's also your health. That's correct. So just be aware the next 4 months is pretty. Um, it's going to be pretty critical for you because Saturn is your ruler. It's your natural ruler, Aquarius rising. And so normally when Saturn goes retrograde, it's a pretty good time for Aquarius rising, also Capricorn rising, because it is your ruler as well. Okay. And for Pisces, sidereal Pisces rising, you're going to have a do-over in your 12th house. Saturn being in there, and this is going to be an opportunity for you to pay off some debt, okay? And be careful, please, about spending money because this is a time where Saturn's going to ask you to do some accounting for all of your spending, okay? So use this time wisely, everybody, okay? Saturn can be scary sometimes, but this time around, when he's retrograde, it's gonna, use it for what it's good for, okay? Getting some pretty big tasks done and for discipline, and you will come out on top, okay? All right, everybody. Well, good luck out there, and I will see you soon. All right, have a great night.